Have you ever noticed something strange? You make more money than you used to, but the number in your bank account barely moves. Payday hits, and you tell yourself, this month I'll finally save something. Then rent, takeout, subscriptions, a couple of things online, dinner with friends, one emergency expense. A month later, it's gone again. And you start blaming yourself. Maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I just have no self-control. But before you beat yourself up, here's the thing. You might not be failing to save because you're not trying hard enough. You're failing because your brain, from the very start, isn't really on your side. More precisely, your brain doesn't care much about future you. In fact, it treats future you like a stranger. Sounds absurd, but it might explain every savings plan you've ever quietly given up on. Quick test. I'll give you $100 right now, or $200 a year from now. Which do you take? Rationally, you know 200 is the better deal. But most people's gut pulls toward the 100. Because money now is real. You can spend it. You can feel it make today a little easier. The 200 a year away, it's a promise in the fog. Bigger, sure, but you can't touch it, and it doesn't really feel like anything. Economists call this hyperbolic discounting. In plain English, the further away a reward is, the more steeply your brain marks it down. Today's 100 is in high definition. Next year's 200 is blurry. You're not bad at math. You can do the math. You just can't out-argue your brain's default setting. But here's the part that gets really interesting. In one study, Hal Hershfield and his Stanford collaborators put people in a brain scanner and asked them to think about 3 people: their current self, their future self, and a complete stranger. The result is kind of brutal. When people imagined their future self, their brain lit up almost the same way it did for the stranger, not for their current self. Which means, deep down, the you of 10, 20, 30 years from now isn't filed under me. It's filed under some person I'm vaguely related to. Now think about what saving actually is. It's present you, buying a little less, enjoying a little less, and handing that money to future you. But your brain thinks future you is a stranger. So of course it resists. It asks, why should I give up my fun today for someone I barely feel connected to? So when people don't save, it's usually not because they don't know saving matters. The opposite. You know all too well. But knowing is one thing. Whether your brain goes along with it is another. And this wiring isn't a defect. It used to keep you alive. Picture your ancestor tens of thousands of years ago out in the wild. You don't know if you'll eat today. You don't know what's hunting you tomorrow. There's food in front of you. What's the smart move? Eat it. Now. If someone said, save it for 10 years from now, that someone probably wouldn't last the year. So the brain evolved one simple rule. What's in front of you wins. The future can wait. Brilliant in the Stone Age. A problem today. Because today, your most important money decisions all live in the distant future. Retirement, a house, your kids' education, long-term investing. All huge and all with zero immediate feedback. Spend $100 less today and nobody claps. Save 1,000 more and tomorrow doesn't suddenly get better. So your Stone Age brain walks into a modern financial system. It's not broken, it's just old. And here's what makes it worse. The modern world understands this brain perfectly. Everything that gets you to spend right now keeps getting smoother. One tap to buy, next day delivery. Buy now, pay later. Auto-renew. Countdown timers. You don't even have to decide to spend. You just tap, and it's gone. And saving? No fireworks, no notification sound, no little animation that says, congrats, you're one step closer to freedom. It's quiet, slow, honestly, kind of boring. So the scales were tilted from the start. On one side, instant gratification, backed by algorithms and buttons and timers. On the other, a distant future, with nobody but you, whispering, don't spend it. Of course it's hard. It was never a fair fight. So what do? If the problem is that future you feels like a stranger, the fix isn't to keep yelling at yourself. It's to make future you feel like family. In later research, Hershfield and his colleagues used software to age people's faces, wrinkles, grey hair, older eyes, and had them look at that older version of themselves before asking how much they'd save for retirement. Savings went up sharply, because suddenly the future had a face, not a vague idea, a person you could see. The more clearly you can picture future you, the less you can stand to let them down. So the first thing isn't to download some budgeting app. It's to make future you concrete. Don't just say, I want to save for retirement. Too empty. Get specific. Where does 65-year-old you live? What does the room look like when you wake up? Do you want to be anxiously counting bills or slowly drinking a cup of coffee? When future you looks back at today's you, do you want them sighing with relief or just sighing? When future you gets specific, saving stops being a wire transfer to a stranger. It becomes taking care of someone who is going to become you. Second, don't leave saving to willpower. Willpower is expensive and it runs out fast. You're tired from work, tired from scrolling, and now you're supposed to white-knuckle your way through every purchase. Too hard. Automate it instead. The day your paycheck lands, a slice moves out on its own, into savings, into investing, somewhere you won't casually spend it. The amount doesn't matter at first. The order does. Not save whatever's left at the end of the month, but pay future you first, the moment the money arrives. Because once money sits in your everyday balance, your brain files it as spendable, and clawing it back is a fight. Third, give the future a date. Someday I'll save is basically saying nothing. Someday is too blurry and your brain won't bite. But in 5 years I'll have my first 100 grand. In 3 years this card is paid off. By next June I'll have 6 months of expenses saved. That's different. It has a time, a number, a picture. It turns the future from fog into a single, fixed point on a calendar. And the moment the future gets specific, your brain starts taking it seriously. So, back to where we started. Why can't you save? Not because you're a failure, not because you're worse than anyone else, but because your brain is wired to love now, to underrate later, to treat future you as someone else, and it lives in a world built to make you spend this second. That combination is strong. So if you've been losing that fight, it makes sense. But once you see the mechanism, everything changes. You're not relying on willpower alone anymore. You know what you're up against and how to change the rules. Make future you real. Make saving automatic. Give the goal a date, a number, a face. Starting today, every dollar you save isn't you robbing present you. It's you telling future you, I didn't forget about you. You're not a stranger. You're me. You're just not here yet. If this made you think of some savings plan you've been putting off, do one small thing today. Set up a single automatic transfer. However small, just let future you show up in your system. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.